Yes, well, for those who say it doesn't matter, let's take Nelson Mandela and have Danny DeVito play him in a biopic and see what they say. If there's something, I don't know, wrong with that picture that they create there. And you're right, there you can do crazy things with history as long as you're respectful of it. I mean, The Girl in the Fireplace was a great episode where they took French history, put some aliens in, and it was cool. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but they're not doing it for the sake of a great story. They're doing it for the sake of the message, which is why it looks so terrible. But Gary, is there a darker element? Is the entertainment industry and organisations like the BBC deliberately using these mediums to rewrite and erase history in the eyes of the next generation to serve as a political message? Because kids these days, this might be the only history they get because they don't really teach it in school anymore.
No, they don't. And I think, yes. I mean, do I think there's some puppet master? Maybe. I mean, I've done a video where I showed the head of BlackRock saying that they want to start forcing behaviors, and they were doing that through DEI and the investment groups, and they got kind of outed on that. But yes, there are. Stephen Moffat, somebody I still respect, although not for what he said here, said, what does it matter? History does matter. If you want to create new stories or adapt mythology from other countries, by all means, do so. I would love to see it. And this narcissism we have, that we have to see ourselves in everything. Well, you can if you're a human. I can root for robots. I can root for animated creatures. One of my favorite shows is Buffy. I've never been a teenage girl, but I can root for Buffy. It's BS. Diversity is a term for less white.
Well,
that's all it is. So you're trying to fight division with division.
To be fair, the girls didn't watch Buffy for Buffy, as the feminists would have you believe. We watched it for Angel and Spike. Just to be clear to all the idiot feminists out there.
This is a fact. My wife is Team Spike.
Me too, always, forever.
For sure.
But people are like, what does that even mean? But yes, Team Spike is where it's at. This is a little bit more slightly serious as we come to the end here. Activists have taken hold of a young, vulnerable audience. I think those are the geeks and the nerds who they used to use sci-fi to show that their maths and science abilities had a value too in society, and they could still be the heroes of their story in a school environment that favours athletic prowess and popularity. It gave them somewhere else to be their little heroes. But now we've got this activist class taking hold of their entertainment and saying, hey, if you're feeling a little bit socially awkward, or if you're not as pretty and strong as all your friends, have you thought that maybe you're gay or trans? Because, being trans will make you cool and powerful. Now, that's a dangerous and abusive thing to teach young kids who might be struggling with their identities, to give that as their option when most of them will just grow up to be, normal human beings like you and me, who are straight, who have the same aspirations as everybody else. We just go through a little rough childhood patch. But now they are being coerced into what could be potentially life-altering directions for this sort of stuff. Is that a dangerous way to take hold of their entertainment?
Yes. And that's what I try to fight against. I as a firm believer in anything should go in art, but you know what? I don't want the government regulating it. I think we should self-regulate as adults, know where the line is. Just because it's there, just because we can say something doesn't mean we should do it. And especially when we're messing with kids. As a grateful recovering addict, member of AA, friend of Bill, I would have hated it. And I'd be dead if my parents and my teachers enabled my addiction. Oh, you should just drink more and have more drugs, because it's the same thing. We were teenagers going through a hard time, and seeing it go through our popular entertainment, the places we went to escape, and still learn lessons like Star Trek and Twilight Zone and Doctor Who. We learn tales of morality. They like to conflate the tales of morality with politics, by the way, because they like to think they're the good guys. And like there's a side that's pro-genocide. I haven't met that side, but I haven't met anybody in fandom who's like that. But fandoms have gotten along harmoniously for the most part. We argued about like who's stronger, Superman or the Hulk, the basic stuff like that. But we've gotten along harmoniously, not talking about politics for many years. What changed? 2016. 2016 was a benchmark year where everything changed. Can't remember what happened in 2016, something big, an election or something like that. but that changed everything. That changed the culture. And now people are waking up for it. So for the inspiring part, the stuff I've been saying, which I've been called everything for, and I don't care. I'm too old to even give a crap what I'm called on Twitter. We can now have open discussions at places like Comic-Con. I was just at Los Angeles Comic-Con where we had 2 panels. One of them was the death of the modern franchise, and the other one was why 99% of movies are garbage. And thanks to my good friend Chris Gore from G4, formerly of G4, we were able to have these panels and have these discussions right next to all the diversity panels. So at least people are openly talking about, thanks to the South Park episode, people are openly talking about pandering, tokenism, the bigotry of lowered expectations. This is what's being pushed in our entertainment, and it sends a horrible message.